Toni, Traci, Towanda, Trina, Tamar, and Miss E will teach you a thing or two on Braxton Family Values. I'ma miss y'all old theme song, but I'm glad y'all back. I got my notes. Y'all bring y'all opinions and let's get on into this damn mess. All right, y'all, so let's start right here, okay? First and foremost, R.I.P. Traci, okay? Your absence was definitely felt in this episode, okay? But we got to talk about the elephant in the room, which is the people talking about, I ain't watching if Traci ain't there. Y'all treated Traci bad, and now y'all done brought the show back now that she can't be there no more. I ain't watching if Traci ain't there, okay? Well, look, I'm going to watch even though Traci's not there because of two things. Number one, the original Braxton Family Values show was one of my favorite reality TV shows, okay? All of them girls together was magic. No, it's not going to be the same in this latest iteration with one of them, you know, of course, missing. But I'm interested to see what they can bring in light of that, okay? And number two, if it was Traci's, you know, last wish or one of her last wishes for them to bring the show back, then honestly, I don't think a lot of us have boo to say. Hell, a lot of us, I don't think any of us have boo to say about the situation, because if that's what she wanted and her sisters are fulfilling that wish, then it is what it is. And if you think about it, it is a way for, you know, her to unite the sisters, even though she's not there in the present and in the physical, you know? So I'm excited to see what they bring this season, and I'm going to give it a try, and I hope the people out there, y'all going to give it a try too, and the people watching the review, y'all going to, you know, hang with me as I review this show over the next few weeks or however long the show go, okay? So let's go to Trina now. And I want to talk about, Trina, girl, did you get a new house? Okay, that house does not look like the last house that I remember you having back in the Braxton Family Values show day. But if it is a new house, or girl, you done, you know, taking a pressure washer to that thing, or renovated like Dr. Jackie on the Married to Medicine show. The house looks amazing, Trina, okay? I don't know what Vaughn do for a living. I ain't trying to get all up into y'all finances or whatever, but Atlanta is a wonderful place in terms of you can get an estate, okay? Like, I'm always shocked when I go look on the Zillows for like these mega mansions out in Atlanta, and they're not as expensive as you would think they would be if they would be in, like, you know, New York or LA or something like that. So congrats, Trina. Okay, the house looks great. And also congrats on you still being with Vaughn, okay? Because I know it's hard. Well, I don't know personally, because I ain't never been married, child. I can't even keep a man. But I think that it's great that in light of, you know, the reality TV beginnings of y'all relationship, that y'all have been able to stay together. I think they said they was, you know, together for 5 years now. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but congrats to y'all. And this may just be a personal point for me, but did any of y'all notice that Trina and Vaughn is starting to look alike? Okay, like facially. Like, I was like, I have friends who have been with their significant others for umpteen years, okay? And slowly but surely, they start morphing into the same person or some iteration of the same person. And y'all, in my mind, y'all starting to look alike, okay? Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if y'all agree. But Trina, I'm going to use this point of time to also talk about other questions that I've wanted to know the answer to, girl. Okay, so what happened to bar chicks? I just want to know, okay? My curiosity is overwhelming, because I thought it was a great concept with the hot girls and the bartending and the business, and you sending them out to all the little, you know, events and whatnot. What happened to bar chicks? Or is bar chicks doing so well, and that's why y'all in this new beautiful house, okay? Drop down in the comments and let me know, Trina. Also, I need you to get back to doing music, all right? I know that it was like a side quest for you, you know, because hell, if the family business with the Braxtons is music, you know, you got Toni in first place, Tamar in second place, and then the rest of y'all kind of find y'all way in terms of y'all lanes or whatever. So I know it wasn't the major quest, but it was a side quest for you. But I'm gonna be honest, Trina. Party or Go Home is still on my workout playlist to this day, okay? That hand will always be iconic. And the only reason I can't do the hand while I'm in the gym trying to lift weights is because I try to give a strong and silent demeanor in there, okay? Because I'm loosely trying to find a man, maybe some sort of like DL athlete or something. Or I don't want to DL men because they kill you behind a secret or whatever. But, somebody discreet or whatever. But this is not about me, Trina, okay? This is about the song, okay? But I'm always up in there. If you didn't come to party, then you better go home. So get back to music, Trina. I would love to hear what you got going on now. And then just on a serious point, Trina says that post Traci, the family has kind of separated into, their own individual units. They haven't really been brought together. So, grief is an individual journey, honestly. And it's going to present differently in different people. Just a quick aside, y'all. Because sometimes you want to be, with other people to kind of develop and go through and understand your grief. And sometimes you just want to do it alone. When my grandmother died, to me, it kind of came in stages, okay? Because when she had about 2 to 3 strokes, okay? And the strokes took this very vibrant, independent woman to be bedridden. She was nonverbal and she was pretty much, sedentary, had to have nurses taking care of her and stuff like that. So I say it's stages because to me, she died in my head in stages because it was the initial, oh, she can't talk. Then it was the initial, oh, she's stuck in this bed. And the initial, oh, one side of her is paralyzed, X, Y, and Z. So when she finally actually died, I did not cry at all because I felt like I had already gone through the stages of grief beforehand, okay? And the thing is, I did not cry when she died. I did not cry at the funeral. I cried months later, okay? And it's weird how certain things will bring it out. I remember I was at my mom's place up in New York, and I was just scrolling on the TikTok. And, it shows you the inner workings of your mind. And I love singing, which is why, I love y'all girls in terms of the Braxtons and stuff. But they had a clip from an old episode of the Steve Harvey talk show. Remember when he would have like the little children on there that would come on and do their talents or whatever. So this little girl's talent was singing, okay? So she came on and she sang a Patti LaBelle song. I think it was If Only You Knew, okay? And as she's singing it, Steve is, of course, in the background, but the surprise for the little girl was that Patti LaBelle was actually there. So as the girl is singing a song, Patti comes out and sings with her. And church, before I knew it, I was crying. Like my face was wet. I did not know what was happening. I was crying. It was something about, the little girl singing the song, the grandmother coming out, the grandmother figure in terms of Patti LaBelle coming out, behind her singing with her. It was like all the grief that I had been holding on to for umpteen times, it just all swelled and came out at once. So, grief can be a communal thing, but sometimes it's an individual journey. So I don't think it's necessarily bad that, y'all having grief together because you all are kind of on your own timeline, but eventually, because y'all all did go through a shared experience, I think it's good for y'all to at least, do the counseling together, get together, share memories, and just try to figure out what individual piece that y'all all have of grief that y'all can share together. Okay, so that's just my little personal testimony. I didn't mean to take y'all on that aside. Okay, so let's move on to Toni. And let's talk about Toni being uncomfortable talking about her health challenges in light of Traci, okay? Look, I understand. Since the inception of the original Braxton Family Values show, Toni was always the sick one. And she, alluded to that, not even alluded, she said it outright in the show, It was always Toni got lupus, Toni got heart issues, Toni is tired, Toni is this, Toni is that. And so that's why Traci's diagnosis and eventual passing came as such a shock, because Traci was never the sick one, okay? So I understand Toni being uncomfortable talking about it because on the heels of the Traci thing, it's like, oh, I still have problems too. I still have trials and tribulations. And I don't want to worry y'all because we've already been through this whole, process as a family of losing one of us. So kind of putting Toni's issues not necessarily on the back burner, but trying to keep them close to the vest so that, she doesn't worry everybody else and start off another chain of events, a la the Traci passing, right? So Toni explains that she had a health emergency. They had to put a stent in her heart, and she will eventually need bypass surgery. And if a heart attack comes, she probably won't survive it. That is scary. Okay. I don't care how hardened you are as a person, or how, religious or spiritual you are. Like, mortality is always something that's in the back of my mind, right? Because none of us ever know how long we truly have here. You have to live for today because tomorrow's never promised. And moving a little bit forward in terms of when the family had the little sit down dinner or whatever, I thought it was beautiful when her sisters were kind of gathering around her to tell her, positive thinking, speak how you want things to be. That's very important. I believe in visualization. I also believe in positive, thoughts and positive speech. Anybody who has been watching this show knows that I have a very deep relationship with my Jesus. We talk all the time, okay? And I'm always telling Jesus every day, this is my prayer, y'all. 99, good skin, good health, and good mind, okay? 99 because I don't want to be greedy and say 100 because, I want to be a bit modest in my old age. Okay, so 99, good skin, because your skin is the first thing people see when they see you. And so, if you're looking at somebody and you see they got bad skin, the first thing you might think of is, they got something going on with them. They're going through some trials and tribulations in their life. Okay, so good mind. That was good skin, good mind. Because if you don't have your mind, you don't have anything, in good health, because it's an overall package. Okay, so 99, good skin, good health, and good mind. That's my eternal prayer. So Toni, definitely embrace positive thoughts, positive speech, because I do believe that, having a good mindset and putting positive thoughts and positive actions out there, it will return to you. Life is very cyclical, and I'm a firm believer in karma. Whatever energy you put out is the energy that will return back to you, okay? Now let's talk about Toni and this damn relationship status, okay? Because I was shaking my head the entire time. Toni talking about she was engaged and in a relationship, and now there's no engagement and no relationship. Toni, I just wish that you could get the love thing right, girl, because you deserve it. We all deserve somebody to make us feel good, physically and mentally. And I ain't gonna get too nasty for y'all because I ain't got time for that today. Because we talking about, the Lord and positive thoughts and stuff like that. But I truly thought that when Toni got with the Birdman, is that what he said? I don't want to be flashing up gang signs. I ain't got time. Does this look like a dove to y'all? When she got with Birdman, I was excited because I felt like Toni might have found her Maximilian. When Eve retired from rapping and from that hard life, she embraced her soft girl life era, went and found that, British multimillionaire. Now she got a baby and she's, living the life, life of leisure, Sierra and the music thing. And now she with Russell Wilson. So I thought that she had found her Russell or her Birdman or something like that. So not Russell, Birdman, her Russell or her, what was the first person I said? Maximilian, right? The London man. Y'all got to keep me on task, okay? So it sucks that the stuff with Birdman doesn't seem to be working out or doesn't seem to be working out right now, because to me, that triggers Toni to have to go back to work. You understand? Because I'm not saying that she's, bad with money or savings, but she has had the bankruptcies and the financial issues in the past. And so in my mind, even though she does have a good, savings account and stuff like that, she still is a celebrity that likes nice things. Even Tamar said on the show that she likes nice things. And the thing about liking nice things is if you've managed your money properly, then it should last you all your days. But if you haven't, then you might have to work in the current, in order to afford the things that you want, or have somebody that is bankrolling your lifestyle, which is why I truly liked Birdman for her, because I felt like she finally had reached, that finish line of, I done had to do all this, stress, struggles, and strife to get to this point. Now somebody gonna be taking care of me because I've been taking care of everybody, okay? So it sucks because now that she's not with the Birdman, in my mind is why she's, getting back to touring, and she's on this thing with Cedric the Entertainer and going, doing these cities and these shows and stuff like that. And although, Toni Braxton, living legend, I think that is great that she's getting out there and doing this. To me, Toni working exacerbates her health issues, okay? So it's not that I don't want her to work, it's just that I just see her with a life of leisure with some Count or some Birdman or some Russell or some Maximilian taking care of her. And she like a vintage Porsche, okay? You don't take a vintage Porsche out all the time. You take it out sometimes, drive around the block, show everybody what it can do, sing a few songs, unbreak my heart, let it flow. And then you go back to, jet setting and spending up that man money. So, Toni, I'm glad you're getting out there. I need you to get settled with a hopefully rich man that can take care of you, because you've been taking care of everybody else for, all your life. You had to fight. Okay. Now it's time for you to get taken care of. And that's all I'm saying. And I hope y'all understand what I mean. Next, let's talk about this family sit down. And they were but they were given the inner workings of Traci's diagnosis. It started with her being painful for her to swallow. That was scary. Okay. Just a little information about me for all of y'all that might be new to this channel. I am a hypochondriac royale, okay? When I was growing up, my dad worked for the government, so we had good government insurance, okay? And I'm a firm believer that, with all the money that you have to pay in this country for health insurance, you should take advantage of it. I went to every specialist I could. The mind specialist in terms of the psychologist. I went to the neurological people. I went to the cardio people. I went to the ear, nose, and throat people. Anybody you could think, the ortho people, even though anything wasn't actually wrong with me, all the times that I went. But I'm just a proponent of proactive health, okay? I don't like reactive health. If anything is going to be wrong with me, I want to see it coming, okay? So I don't know the timeline in terms of when Traci got diagnosed to when she eventually passed or whatever. But, I just want to implore all of you that if you feel something's wrong, something is probably wrong, go to that doctor. And even if you don't feel something is wrong, just get familiar with whatever doctor it is, just in case you might end up in a period where something is wrong. Just my little PSA. And we got to talk about this at the family sit down, y'all. I think it was Toni. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but she said, Traci's still here and she's holding our purses. I'm hoping that this was just nervous energy surrounding y'all, because that is such a horrible statement to make, especially with how the people feel about this show coming back now that Traci not there. All right. Traci's holding our purses. I'll be damned if I'm going to leave this life, okay, become a spirit that's looking over my family, and I'm going to be, in the midst of what's going on, and y'all talking about I'm over here holding y'all purses while I'm, taking a break from Jesus to go see what y'all got going on. Absolutely not. I would have flown right out of that damn family dinner, and I hope you did, Traci, but you know what? Just give them a chance, okay? I always say one time is a fluke, twice is a pattern, by 5 it's a lifestyle, okay? So if it was just, one nervous joke, then that's fine. But, the people got a problem with it, because from the outside looking in, it appears like y'all treated Traci like the redheaded stepchild, and now that she's gone, it's revisionist history. I'm not saying that's how it was, okay? Because I'm mature enough to realize that, what we saw on TV in terms of this snapshot of y'all life may not be indicative of the entire relationship that y'all had, okay? But unfortunately, we as the viewer don't have the entire backstory, so we can only go off of what we seen, okay? So I'm hoping it was just a fluke with y'all making that joke, but Traci ain't nowhere holding y'all purses, whether she taking a break from Jesus to come see what y'all got going on, or, hanging out in heaven looking down on all y'all, okay? Now let's move on to Lil Kev. This is a good transition. So Lil Kev lost his mom and his best friend. I can't even imagine, y'all. While I was watching this show, it made me go call my mama, okay? Because my mom is alive and well, and knock on wood or whatever type of plastic wood I done, got for this damn desk. Knock on this, she gonna have, the same stuff that I'm asking Jesus for: 99 good skin, good health, and good mind, okay? I can't imagine losing a parent. The worst I've ever lost is a grandparent. So I can't imagine losing your mom and your best friend all in one. So shout outs to Lil Kev, and I'm glad that y'all are trying to support him through this difficult time. But it seems like with Lil Kev's life, when it rains, it pours. He lost his mom and his best friend. He got a pending divorce. Apparently the wife filed for divorce, but she doing his hair, okay? Now let's pause our story right there, church, okay? Now y'all know I think different, okay? And because I think different, I'm always thinking 10 steps ahead. So I'm not saying that Lil Kev's wife is unstable by any stretch of the imagination, okay? But Lil Kev, look, it's been a while since I done got my hair done. We're gonna talk about that with Towanda and stuff. But if she's giving you twists and stuff, I'm assuming she's using, her hands, some gel, perhaps a comb with like one of those, the combs that you use to part the people hair with that like long spike on the end of it. All I'm saying, Lil Kev, is just be careful, because in my mind, when somebody's doing your hair, they're behind you. And if she's trying to divorce you, I'm not saying she unstable. I'm just saying, in the eternal words of Sun Tzu, baby, better know your enemy. You better know. Because if that lady, filed for divorce, don't know if she want to be married, but she doing your hair, she might be behind you one day, see that little comb with the spike thing and get some bad ideas. So all I know is, you give people enough, information to be dangerous, not lethal. And so that goes along with, where you're positioned with the person. But, I'm prone to talks about the killer because I'm very paranoid. So I'm sure that's not your reality. But just be careful, Lil Kev, okay? And let's talk about this relationship with his dad. Now, Trina was the one who brought this up, but she said the relationship with the dad currently, in terms of Lil Kev's relationship with his father, Traci's widowed husband or whatever, he's been kind of unavailable. I guess probably emotionally, he's probably been there in the physical, but emotionally he's not there. Mentally he's probably not there. So it was interesting that Trina made that kind of parallel in terms of like, it's like he lost two parents. He lost his mom and his best friend because she's no longer physically here, right? And then, the dad is going through his own grief process. So even if he's physically here, he may not be mentally available to give Lil Kev what he needs to. So, when it rains, it pours. And I'm glad that the family is rallying around Lil Kev because, look, life is fleeting. Emotions can take over. And you don't want anything to ever take you out of here that's not supposed to take you out of here, And so just rally around him and make sure he's okay. Make sure that he's fortified mentally, that he knows that he has people that he can turn to. Because sometimes, look, if you lost your mom and your best friend all in one, your dad is unavailable, your wife trying to leave you, she might be trying to do something to you with the long tooth comb with the little spike at the end. That's just my personal thing. You might feel alone. So I'm glad the family is rallying around him, okay? Now let's talk about Towanda and this alopecia diagnosis. Towanda, I'm so glad that you shared your alopecia diagnosis, mama, because people were thinking that you might be sick too, a la Traci. So y'all know when y'all get that little white stuff on your lip, it just be getting annoying, and nobody be telling you that it's there. So yeah, back to Towanda. And so I'm glad that she shared her alopecia diagnosis in terms of it not being something more serious. Y'all know, if y'all have watched, this channel from the inception, I have male pattern baldness, okay? So that's a form of alopecia on the man's side, right? So I've had a hair transplant for it. I probably need to have another one. I'm going to need to get my money up so I can go off to I think this next time I'm gonna go off to Turkey to get it done, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. Okay, this is not about me, but I love that Towanda shared her story because there's so much strength involved in it, right? Towanda is doing what I could never do, right? Which was just to accept that it's happening and shave your head, okay? And I think that there's strength in that. There's no one way to kind of deal with alopecia, okay? I don't think there's anything wrong with people trying to get the hair transplants and try to fix it. I don't think there's anything wrong with people trying to, accept it, shaving their head and embracing it, okay? It's just like grief, losing your hair, it's another type of grief, but it's an individual journey, okay? And the good thing about it, Towanda, is that you got the perfect head shape and face structure for it, okay? Because, you got that kind of like angular face and that good round head, in terms of there's no like bumps and bruises or like, weird projections or whatever. So you got a good head for it. And, Your fashion has been reflective of it, and I think that that's great. You know, it's a whole thing surrounding it. What you reminded me of, and when I saw you on that on the show, you know, dressed up and with your makeup looking popping and stuff, you really reminded me. Have y'all ever watched what's that damn show? Married to Medicine LA. There was a doctor on there. Her name was Dr. Imani, okay? And Dr. Imani, bald head, always fly, regal, beautiful, mysterious, always dressed to the nines. And that's what you were kind of giving me, Towanda, in this show. So I'm glad that you have accepted your alopecia diagnosis. Girl, you did something I never could in terms of shaving my head. It's not that I have a bad shaped head. It's just I'm still not over losing my hair or the process of losing my hair. So I got my own, you know, demons to deal with in therapy. But congratulations, Towanda, because once you accept something, then, you know, you ain't got to be worried about, you know, how people feel about it. It's how you feel about it and how you present to the world and go forward with that. So congratulations, girl. And if you need any sort of fashion tips, reach out to Dr. Imani from Married to Medicine LA, because mama stay fly, okay? And last but not least, let's talk about this grief counseling thing. Now, I may be wrong, okay? But did anybody else feel like it would have been interesting or at the very least funny if they had asked Iyanla back? That Iyanla Braxton family sit down was legendary, okay? Now, they probably couldn't get Iyanla because, you know, she done retired from the OWN network. You know, she's trying to live her best life, her best stress-free life. And honestly, from the outside looking in, I don't think she ever made up with Tamar surrounding, you know, the breakup that they had. Something in my eye, y'all. The breakup that they had, you know, regarding the battles that they had at that family therapy session or whatever. So I thought it would be funny if they had Iyanla on there as a kind of like full circle type moment, but it's probably for the best. You know, new show, new title, you know, new theme song in terms of it not being a song, just being like a sound or whatever. So we all knew everything. All right. So Iyanla been replaced with Spirit, okay? I don't know what Spirit last name is, but Spirit came in through Trina, and Trina met Spirit during the time of Gabe's passing or whatever, in terms of her trying to come to terms with it, okay? So it's good that they found somebody new to the family, but still with some link to one of them, okay, to bring somebody in. But the thing about it is this: a hush fell over Jerusalem. Nobody is talking. Now, Trina, you know, the thing about it is this, and what I noticed was this. The reason why Spirit went to Trina first is because she don't know the rest of the girls, okay? She's not familiar with it. Of course, she knows of them, but she doesn't have a personal relationship with them. Furthermore, you're the one who brought her in to the family to do this damn counseling. So it would only seem right that the story, in terms of the testimony to kind of get people started, would start with you, okay? So that's why she came to you. And so when she comes to you and you say, you know, I'm not ready to speak, you know, my story yet, it kind of does put people in a weird position because, girl, you brought us here to do this grief counseling in order for us to have this whole family moment. Technically, you should be the one starting it. You know, you done away with Iyanla. You done conjured up the spirit of Spirit, okay? So you need to lift up every voice and sing and kind of, you know, launch this thing off. But, you know, they kind of position this grief counseling as the cliffhanger for the next episode. So I'm assuming one of y'all gonna start talking and then we'll start getting to what's actually going on here. But from this first episode, I'm so glad that y'all are back. I'm so glad that y'all are honoring Traci through having this show back, showing the old clips of her, including her son, talking about his story, you know, trying to keep him centered in light of all that's going on. And I'm excited to see what happens. So I think that's all I got. So if you enjoyed, give a thumbs up and join the congregation by subscribing. And until next time, church, stay forever young and forever juicy. And we'll talk later. Bye.